Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
Hey, away we go. Welcome to show number 2724. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and Mike Hawk.
Montgomery!
And you are in the men's room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. A positive drinking story breaks down alcohols by emotion. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, a men's room shout of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack. Drinkity drunk.
All right, here we go. Breaking news. A scientist DNA test 9 Yeti samples. And yeah, it's a bear. Canadian woman goes to mall to scream at Santa, calling him an effing D-head while he sits in his chair. Florida ballerina takes sex toy and slaps boyfriend Chad in the face. Massachusetts police pull over giant Christmas tree with a small car that vanished without a trace. And a college student owes $200,000. No, not in loan, silly, but to a charity. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, a few years ago, maybe just last year, the Ice Bucket Challenge. That was all the rage. Of course, you remember that. And the purpose was to raise money and awareness for ALS. Now, the good news is it worked. Raised over $100 million for ALS research. Now, the new fad among the lemmings is the Carolina Reaper Challenge, right? The one-chip challenge. Mm-hmm. There's now the new Carolina Reaper pepper. They have made potato chips out of this. And newscasters around America are wasting everyone's time by trying one on live TV. Now, unlike its icy predecessor, the Carolina Reaper Challenge, it doesn't actually serve any purpose. You're not raising money for anything. You'll just regret eating something that was specifically engineered to bring you pain. It's like eating a cactus for absolutely no reason. Anyway, people just love to put things in their mouth and swallow. Get your mind out of the gutter, you filthy son of a bitch. That's not what I meant. You might be familiar with a condition known as pica. It's a medical condition in which people continue to eat things that are not food and have no nutritional value. So they eat things like dirt or clay or paint, etc. Well, a guy in India, he suffers from pica. He ate 263 coins and 150 nails and a few quilting needles and some iron spikes and a whole host of other things. But he did this on purpose. Much like the Bosnian war criminal, a guy by the name of Slobodan Praljak. All right? Now, he was convicted of murdering Muslims during the 90s. But instead of accepting responsibility, he was in court, and once they decided he is guilty of war crimes, his lawyer screams out, "Oh my God, he just drank poison." And there's a video and a picture of this guy. He stands up, says, "I'm not a war criminal," and then guzzles like basically a shot glass worth of poison. And then he drops dead.
Down the hole of Bichola.
Yeah, down the hole of Bichola. Those are his final words on this earth. But yeah, he ended up killing himself. And again, he did it on purpose. We got a few more stories of some odd things that people ingested. And but it got us thinking just about the fact that all of us have done it, whether we did something on a dare, whether we did something by accident, whether we were just a little kid. But essentially, something's gone into your mouth, you swallow. I remember swallowing a cigarette butt because I didn't realize that the beer can was an ashtray until after I felt the cigarette butt ricochet off the back of my throat. But yes, I swallowed a cigarette butt. But anyway, this is what we want to know. Men's Room question. It's a fill-in-the-blank question. I'll never forget the time I swallowed blank.
Be a part of the big show. Call 844-999-OLA. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All the shows, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,724. What a large and charge program we have for you today. No, it really is. True. We have a positive drinking story returning and breaking down alcohols based on emotions. And believe it or not, there is a lot to that. There are different drinks out there that cause people to just act in different ways. So, certain alcohols cause a little bit more aggression. Certain alcohols cause a little bit more empathy, some fear, all kinds of different emotions, depending on the type of alcohol that you prefer to drink. So believe it or not, if you like to just be relaxed, there's a drink for that. If you want to be angry as hell, there's a drink for that. If you want to cry, there is a drink for that. So
who doesn't want to be
there
angry?
With a positive drinking store? You might not even know you're drinking it, but you know for a fact that each one of these different things is seriously categorized, and they did a study to figure out what emotions tend to are brought out more based on that
alcohol
beverage. Okay. You know? So that's coming up with a positive drinking story.
I've had all of them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The exciting return coming up of Who Sucks Less, and today we'll do a Men's Room blank question. I will never forget the time that I swallowed blank, and the other day on TV Time with Ted, we had the audio Ted of the chip challenge, that's been going around. You've probably seen it. It's a manufactured pepper. A Carolina Reaper, is that what they call it? And it was made in a laboratory, much like bananas and broccoli. But this is designed to really just punish you if you're not used to hot food. So everybody wants to do this one chip challenge. And basically what it is, if you haven't seen it, it's a small little container. You pop the top. There is one chip inside. And all you have to do is eat that chip. That's basically it, because that pepper is so hot, that is all you need. So they do it on one of the TV news shows. I'm assuming it's in the morning. Either way, the guy cannot handle it. The woman who had her chip, she's perfectly fine. She's asking him if he's okay. At one point in time, I believe his quote to her was,
"You need to stop talking."
He was in such pain that he couldn't even tolerate her talking. So, at any rate, it got us thinking about different things that you swallow in your lifetime. And some of them are, hey, look, man, didn't we have a guy call the show who said that one of the things that he got to do was eat giraffe?
Yeah.
Okay, so like when I think about things that...
He was also building churches and doing some good things.
He was.
He happened to eat giraffe when he was there.
But when you think about what thing in your life has gone down your throat that would be different than most people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That has to be real high on the list. Like if you're in a room of 5,000 people and you stand up and go, all right, who else in here is eating giraffe? I'm pretty sure he's the only guy standing up.
Well, when he got back stateside. I think it was in Africa.
Sure.
Everyone's like, me too.
Well, you could do the same thing there and go, who's had a bacon double cheeseburger? Who's had the Wendy's Baconator? And no one's going to stand up.
That's how you're going to one up.
But dude,
I've had giraffe. I had a Wendy's Baconator, bitch.
Look, man, if you're the only...
F Africa.
Oh, come on. If you're the only guy in Mozambique who's ever had a Baconator, people be like, dude, what's that bacon? Everyone's going to want to know what the Baconator tastes like.
How many people, and I mean how many people, not percentage, many people in Mozambique right now that are from Mozambique, right? Not in America, have had a Baconator from Wendy's.
Or a deep dish pizza from Pizza Hut.
I'm saying 8 people total.
How many of them even know what it is?
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why it's so
They're
unusual.
Just look at you like you're saying
they would be the most unusual. They would have eeten the most unusual thing.
Sure, that'd be unusual.
That would be very a large Pizza Hut deep dish pizza. That would be unusual if you had a pepperoni pizza. You know, maybe I'm wrong.
You're very exotic in Mozambique, Miles.
KFC.
What if you told him you ate like a black bear or something indigenous here?
Well, look, but I don't think they'd be excited.
Wendy's is indigenous to the United States.
No, but look at it like this. Because then they'd be like, well, that makes sense. The reason we ate giraffe is because it's indigenous. We hunted it. So if you said a black bear, they wouldn't be impressed. They would think, well, of course you did.
If you went to an Inuit and said, have you ever eaten seal blubber? They go, hell yeah.
Right. But when you say, have you ever had a Wendy's Baconator? Now I'm saying they sit down in a circle around you and you're telling a story.
Okay, here it is.
Right? To eat an animal in the wild is what they do.
Hang on. Couldn't the African guy just name a chain restaurant that they have in Mozambique?
You Google Mozambique restaurant chains. Let me know what restaurant he went to. I will guess what's on the menu.
They take the pig's stomach and they cut it thin and fry it up into crispy bacon.
Yeah.
And then they put it on 2 all-beef patties.
They'd be like, why didn't we think of this?
But doesn't Wendy's... Yes, it's a square patty. That is correct.
It is square.
People are like, ooh, on a brioche bun.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh, man, what's this ketchup taste like?
You'd be like 3PO talking to the Ewoks.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just be like you are talking some mesmerizing S.
Describe this pickle again to me.
Just think about it. It's not exciting to say you ate an animal that lives in the goddamn country
What is lettuce? What is lettuce?
Yeah, but a Baconator? I mean, that's different, man.
Right.
It's like, look, this is two different types of animal, man.
Sure.
There's beef and pork. Two have come, and we take cheese and melt it. Why? Just because we freaking can.
That's it.
And we wash it down with a thick-ass ice cream tree. How many people have you ever had a Frosty?
In my mind, that would be the most unusual thing. Have you ever had bear?
I have not.
Okay, what is the most exotic thing that you have eaten?
The Baconator from Wendy's, Miles. I thought we covered this.
I don't know. Boar?
Boar?
Okay.
Boar? Weird fishes?
I think the most...
What weird fishes?
I don't know, like a sturgeon. You don't seem to find a ton of
That's a
sturgeon.
dinosaur. You ate a dinosaur.
I had Iberico ham once.
All right.
That's so good.
That's the,
God damn, that's good.
But isn't that the real rare ham that
It
you can
is,
only get?
but
How did you get it?
I spent a lot of money at a Vegas restaurant.
Right.
Oh, okay.
The same way
All right.
everyone's had it.
No,
I
how
spent a fortune.
much is a plate of this ham? And how much ham do they give you? Is it like a charcuterie plate or whatever?
No class.
All right.
No, they served them. They served them with these little things. I kept calling them little puffy, like dough pillows. It was like very lightly fried, and you'd wrap the little piece of ham around it and eat it at once. Dude, it was a super expensive restaurant. Me and my buddy went, just two of us, and it was almost $400.
Oh!
But with that said, our boss, Hair Club here, is a pretty good foodie.
Yeah.
I went to his office afterwards, and I said, hey, I had that Iberico, and he was like, where? How did you have that? So it's very rare that you can catch him with something. So that one's pretty cool, because nobody else has it.
I sampled...
How many people here have had a fluffy dough pillow?
By the way, I tried to Google Mozambique
restaurant
fast food.
chains?
Yeah,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm not positive I'm spelling Mozambique right.
Probably not.
But if you put in Mozambique fast food, nothing comes up except, like, what are the benefits of fast food?
That's
Should
what
you
I'm
be eating
saying,
fast
Ted.
food?
So no matter what you eat there, your Baconator is more exotic than a black bear. Sorry.
Of course it is.
And Mozambique, absolutely.
Mozambique. All right. Here we go. I bet they have KFCs there. That seems to be the one that's always in Africa.
All right, wait a minute. Hold on. In Mozambique, KFC is strong.
Well, they have KFC,
No, KFC
in
is
Egypt.
strong.
They have KFC. Oh, here we go. KFC. Boom.
Damn.
I was right.
They have a KFC in Mozambique.
They sure do, and a king pie. The best fast food in Mozambique from TripAdvisor. Let's see what they got here.
Yeah, I'm way off. On
We could go to
spelling.
Ches Fred. They got European and Portuguese food. Bolo do caca. Oh, man, that's a bola de
Count me
caca.
in.
A bowl of caca.
Right, that's
Hey, it's Italian. It's Italian place.
They're not going to be that impressed by the Baconator.
Keep the expectations low.
They got a Pizza House.
Not even Pizza Hut.
Gelato's flame grilled chicken. Like they've never tasted the deliciousness of a Wendy's Baconator,
They're not even close
Dude,
to
they
it.
got a cafe okay.
which is just okay according to the reviews.
Yeah, no. Cafe,
No,
okay.
There's nothing on
look,
here.
They put it in the name. They said, hey, Art, it's cafe okay.
Right, we didn't say we're great.
Just average.
Well,
They didn't say we're good.
Maybe that's
Right.
cafe average.
Right. Not even
How
good.
is it? Yeah, it's kind of.
Are you in this area? Do you need food? Come to cafe okay.
Cafe
We were
average.
going to call it Cafe Meh, but we went with Cafe Okay.
So here we get this too. This is kind of crazy. So maybe you're trying to eat a little bit more organic, more natural, all those things. Okay,
Yeah, have fun with that.
The CDC warns if you drank raw milk, see a doctor immediately. And I love the way this is written. Drinking raw milk can be utterly risky.
We're telling you might die,
Then they
but
go-
we're going to take a second to put in a cow
Then
joke.
they ask, the got
Could
milk.
you end up with spots on you?
Then it's got microbes, like got milk, right?
Oh, Lord.
After a New Jersey woman became sick, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now urging anyone who has drunk raw milk. That can't be. Is that right? Is that in the right text?
Is it drunk or
Tense?
drank? Crap,
Has
man.
drunk raw milk. Is that the right tense for that? I thought it would be drank raw milk. Or has had raw milk.
I would think that too, but I don't know.
Drunk might be right. Might be past.
It
It's
might
got to
be.
be. It's got to be past tense. But who has drunk raw milk over the past 6 months from the company known as
Raw Milk Company.
Udder Milk.
Jesus Christ.
To see a doctor ASAP. In fact, prior to this incident, the CDC has been warning about the dangers of drinking raw milk in general, so you may want to see your doctor regardless of where you got that raw milk from. As they reported in the at NewJersey.com, the woman purchased raw milk from Udder Milk, drank it, and then subsequently developed, some kind of RB51 infection. And I'm assuming that this can kill you based on the seriousness of it. It can lead to, what is that? What would you call that? Brucellosis? Brucellosis? Yeah, I don't know.
It is with osis. It's not
It
good.
can happen up to 1 or 2 days or 6 months after initial infection, which is why they're issuing a 6-month warning. So you might have had it 3 months ago, and then you're going to get inflamed, severely painful, and swollen testicles is one of the side effects. As far as men go, women, you're good on that.
Really?
One. Yeah. As the CDC
Women,
described,
if you ever have swollen testicles, you
go see a doctor.
definitely need some help.
Initial symptoms include fever, sweats, fatigue, weakness, loss of appetite, headache or muscle joint or back pain, and swollen testicles. The infection may then go inside the lining of the heart and cause the heart valves to be destroyed and eventually lead to death. So this is pretty serious if you were drinking raw milk.
Oh, by the way, a comment came in. I don't know if there's any truth to this. I'm not even going to get involved. I'm just going to read it. It says, drank is not a word.
Drank is not a word.
That's what they say. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. Everyone I know says it. I drank too much last night.
I got one example for you.
So if I say I drunk a Coke?
Purple drank.
That clears it up. Boom. Purple drink.
Our Minter and Black question today. We're going to talk about what you swallowed that was a little bit weird, whether it be worms while you were fishing or accidentally swallowing a fly while you were riding down the road on your bike.
I got a few comments here already commenting on that. Some strange stuff. Says, I had smoked reindeer heart. Our Norwegian friend brought it home. Supposedly a delicacy during Christmas Eve or Christmas through New Year's.
Wait, hold on.
Smoked reindeer heart.
So you're eating reindeer during the holiday season?
Well, no better time. They come to your house, Miles.
All right.
You just sit on your roof and remember that, kids. It says, when I was a kid, I would eat old gum off the sidewalk. That from Melinda.
That's not that odd. I remember knowing other kids that ate old gum.
It's, but it's still.
I mean, we all knew a kid that ate glue.
Yeah, but that's different. That was funny. See,
I don't know.
That was funnier than gross.
I feel like, who was that from?
Melinda.
I like Melinda, because Melinda's the kind of woman that
you kiss that mouth.
They'll go home and have the leftovers with you.
Yeah.
It's always been cost efficient, that Melinda.
It's never spent a dime on gum. Always had fresh breath.
Want some gum? No.
I've had yak, kangaroo, bear, and lion. That from Rochelle.
Nice.
And let's see. Someone says we have the munchies. And then someone else is saying they believe the Frosty, more than the Baconator, would be exotic in Mozambique.
Oh, that would be a mind blower. I think they
so.
both. Oh, hell yeah.
Nah, you know what, man? No, because they had that gelato place. When you read through the fast food chains of Mozambique, there was some gelato place. So, like a Frosty, I don't think it blows their mind. I think a Baconator, I'm telling you, man, they'd have no idea.
The one that,
do they not eat beef and pork?
Well, someone asked, is it a Muslim country? Which will go a long way to explaining why maybe the Baconator would
But a Frosty, well, can you drink milk?
Yeah.
Oh, there's probably no milk in a Frosty.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest.
You can have dairy. The dairy's not supposed to touch meat.
Oh, I see. So they're
I thought that was Jewish.
Crap. You got to be able to have dairy, right? You can't have
them together for
National Geographic presents
kosher.
The Jews of Africa. Tonight at 8. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. The pizza at Debonair Pizza here in Mozambique appears to have sliced hot dogs on top.
No, that's not okay.
That does not look like pepperoni.
It's like low-rent pepperoni.
Because it's a hot dog.
That's what a hot dog is. You're right.
That's precisely
so
what you're looking at.
In Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography,
and wait a minute. If they wouldn't put pepperoni on there, they probably wouldn't put a hot dog.
Yeah, why would you put a hot dog? That's even worse.
Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography. You think it's going to be all this debaucherous stuff about, and there's a lot of that in there. Don't get me wrong. But one of the most compelling parts about the book, in my mind, was the first time that Ozzy Osbourne went to New York. Mm-hmm. Now, Ozzy Osbourne at the time was like 140 pounds. He was skinny. He liked to drink. He liked to do drugs. He's young. He's a rock and roll star. He gets to New York City, and he tries New York City pizza for the very first time. They cannot get Ozzy out of the pizza shop. He continues to gorge himself. He's never had anything this delicious in his entire life. Mm-hmm. He sits there and eats pizza. He gets back up the next morning, and he goes in again, and he orders pizza. He's never had anything that tastes this good.
Yeah,
he
that's
goes
the
back
sound
for lunch,
of eating pizza.
He goes back for dinner. 25 pounds later, 2 weeks later,
damn,
he's gorged himself. You know what I mean? Like, he can't stop eating. He's never had anything as delicious. Keep in mind where he came from. He's never had anything this delicious in his life. And he was like, it was one of the most just life-changing events.
Sure, man.
I mean, so much so that even when you go back to that time when Sabbath is on the road and they're coming up with all this, his most memorable moment was the first bite of pizza he had.
But you have to consider something.
It's pages of it. It's pages of it, man.
He's from the one country that no restaurant even bothers to put in a sign. You go to an English pub, but no single restaurant outside of the country of England will put a sign up that says English cuisine, because everyone knows it sucks. So he's from the country that makes the worst food on the face of the planet, and it's internationally agreed upon. And then he grew up broke in the country that is the worst in making food. He's never tasted something like New York pizza. I'm telling you, man, everything. It was probably better for him than the first time he had a positive trip on acid.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like that's.
He doesn't bring that up.
Right,
He brings up the
because
pizza.
that doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Right.
matter. It's all about the
The
pizza.
pizza matters.
I mean, I remember a lot of firsts, but this will sound foo-foo again. But the same trip, I had the fancy Iberico ham. We went to this famous French restaurant. And
Oui.
Yeah, but that was the first time I had a proper, like, French macaroon. And I remember taking a bite and just looking at my buddy and being like, why did you never tell me these existed? Like, what is
What is
this?
a macaroon?
It's just a... Robin, you're going to have to help me. I'm not... French macaroon, not the ones with the coconut.
Not the coconut macaroon that you're thinking of. It's a small cookie, a little bit smaller than like an Oreo, right, in diameter, I'd say. And it's 2 cookies, cream filling, right?
Oh, all right.
Kind of a buttercream consistency filling, different flavors. Could also be like a jam, almost.
All right.
And then the cookies themselves are... They're very glossy looking.
It's almost like a super high-end moon pie, but with
Yes.
much better ingredients.
Yes.
I've never
But I'm just telling you, when I ate it, it just blew my
That's
mind.
amazing.
I've never had a bad cookie sandwich. Like a cookie, like if you
Oh, yeah,
nutter
you make a
butter-
sandwich out of it,
nutter
sure.
butter, whatever. I mean, if there's 2 cookies and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
in the
a
middle,
little
High
sandwich.
dollar nutter butter.
it's
whatever
like
it is, they're all
chewy.
good though.
He's
Yeah.
talking about French macaroon.
I know.
You're like, would you like a nutter butter?
Yeah, it's like, is it shaped like a peanut?
Yes, but it's like
Cookie
a
shaped
chewy...
like a peanut.
Oh, look
I'll be
there.
damned.
Mike has a photo
hold
up
on.
for you.
Yeah.
That's what they look like. And the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I've seen
cookie
those in the
had
foo-foo. I've seen them in the
is
foo-foo places.
chewy and soft, but it's
They look
pretty
freaky,
wonderful.
dude. I'm never.
I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
the first time I had it was vanilla. Like, I didn't know what the texture was, and it just blew my mind.
How many did you have?
Oh, I probably went back and got like 3 more.
Okay.
And then we
That's
went
good
to Bouchon every day for at least something.
Our men's room blank question. I will never forget the time that I swallowed blank. 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Sheila. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my story, this happened back in my dancing days back at the Crazy Horse. I used to have this habit of eating ice.
Wait. Let's rewind here for a minute before we continue. This goes back to my dancing days, you said, at the Crazy Horse?
Crazy Horse 2 in Las Vegas, Nevada.
All right. And
All right.
And how long did you, were you employee at that establishment?
4 years.
Okay. And what was that experience like?
Oh, well, okay. So I used to play pool with my customers. And I happened to be playing pool with this guy who was drinking Bloody Marys. And so it was his shot, and I went to go take a bite out of my ice out of my cup, and all of a sudden, all I taste is Tabasco. The man had spit into my cup.
Oh.
Oh, my God, it was horrible. I ran to the bathroom.
You can't get that taste out of your mouth either.
Oh, no. And then I went up to the boss, so I told Vinny, I told him exactly what happened. He's like, go home.
His name was Vinny.
Sheila, really?
I mean, my God. Like,
Hey, Sheila, I tell you what you got to do. Your mouth smells like a frickin' ashtray. You got to get the frick out of here. Go get some Listerine or something.
and his name was Vinny. Of course his name was
Have you been to
Vinny.
this establishment?
It is not open anymore, but I had to check it out to see if I had been there. And as she's saying the name Vinny, it's
What is
like,
it now?
It's closed, but it was blatantly owned by the mob.
Really? Guy named Vinny? That have a straight-up strip club in Vegas?
Vinny Eight
Get the
Knuckles
frick outta
Tuscadero.
here. Who would have thought that, huh? What do you know?
Shocking.
Men's room blank question. I will never forget the time that I swallowed blank. 844-999-OLA. Hold the line. We'll take a quick break. Come back with more of your calls. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Doctors may have found the cause of the man's abdominal pain. According to the Times of India, the doctors at the Satna Hospital in India found 263 coins, 150 iron nails, a long metal strip, quilting needles, iron spikes, and other objects in the stomach of a man's intestines. Yes, around 7 kilograms or over 15 pounds of objects.
Damn.
Is not going to sit too well in the belly. And basically, it's called pica.
Pica.
As in, like, I guess, striker?
Strike a
Like strike a pose. It is a medical condition in which a person continues to eat substances that are not normally considered food and have no nutritional value, such as dirt, chalk, bones, paint, clay, or metal objects. Such behavior has to persist for at least a month before it can be technically considered pica.
Striker.
But if you've seen someone eat iron spikes for 29 straight days, I mean, that qualifies. So, yeah, there you go. But they figured it out. 15 pounds of metal in the dude's stomach. Our men's room, a blank question. I will never forget the time that I swallowed blank.
Here's some of the comments coming in. Just follow me on this. I'll never forget the time I had cricket over in Cambodia, along with tarantula, eel, and lemongrass stuffed frog. Rock on, bitches. In Africa, I had impala shank, springbok loin, and Nyala sausage. And they say all of them were very, very good.
You didn't have a Wendy's Baconator.
They did not have a Wendy's Baconator. I had a whale steak in Norway once, very tough and gamey. I've eaten horse from Iceland. Another one says my friend had raw horse sashimi in Japan. And then this guy, as we were saying, if you go to Mozambique, it's just unlikely that they have experienced the joy that is a Baconator from Wendy's, probably an exotic food. So this guy says, I spent some time in Africa about 10 years ago. Believe it or not, they had no idea what Mexican food was like. So I made fajitas for some of the guys, and they absolutely loved them.
Hell yeah. How could you not like, dude, anytime anyone orders the fajitas, it's almost like the restaurant just stops. And everyone looks over, and they see the waiter carrying the sizzling plate of fajitas, and everybody has the same thought. Damn.
Should have got
the fajitas.
I get them every time.
And I always appreciate the waiter saying, hey, be careful. The plate is hot.
The plate is hot.
Like, got that, man.
The one that's on fire and says,
yes, the one that, and then finally.
I was going to say, fajitas, man, too many times I had buyer's remorse. So now when I go into places, it's like, fajitas.
Fajitas. Right, because they probably won't F them up. So everyone's going about, roughly, just the unique foods they've eaten. And most of these people, just different animals. And then this guy chimes in with, I ate a piece of draft beer glass. I would never do it again. They were shocked. It did not pay up. Chew slowly until sand texture.
Oh, God.
I had a buddy that used to eat cans. He'd take a bite out of them and then eat it.
Yeah, that's just...
Is he still around?
He is, but years later, he had stomach issues.
Yeah,
okay. Did they have to remove the cans?
Yeah, the doctor was like... There's aluminum in your stomach.
Right. Did they have to
I just know
did they have to
something.
operate to take it out?
I don't know if they something had happened. I'm not really like super tight with him. I've only seen him once like the last 10 years, but he was in and out of the military already. And I was like, and he was like, somehow it came up and he goes, you won't believe this. I was like, yep, Brendan, I do. Right. Like eventually the aluminum cans you ate came back to haunt you.
Oh my.
You ate aluminum cans. I can believe it.
It was badass though.
Men's Room Blank question. I will never forget the time that I swallowed blank.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
How's it going, guys?
Good, Brian. How are you, man?
Good. So, hey, actually, it's not me that had the substance, but a friend of mine drank about a half of a Gatorade bottle of gasoline.
Why did he do that?
We were racing off-road. They're hare scrambles where it's a 3-hour event, 8 to 12 miles of cross-country racing.
Okay.
So you got to judge your gas right, when you do it. And he ended up running out of gas on the last lap about 4 miles from the finish. And so his dad, after the race, once we're all done, we had nothing to put gas in to get it out to him. So his dad just found an empty Gatorade bottle and was like, well, fill this up, and took it out to him. And as he gets out to him, he just looks at him, throws the Gatorade bottle at my friend, and he grabs it and just goes, oh, thanks, Dad. And just starts chugging it.
He didn't figure it out.
He had no idea.
Did he start throwing up immediately?
No, he couldn't. Ironically, it was over in Goldendale, so it was about a 5-hour drive. And we drove over to the race together. And so he had tried to make himself vomit many a times, and he couldn't. And so, yeah, it was a long drive home.
What, was he just in pain the whole time, or like what happens if you drink gas? I would just assume it would kill you, so I don't know.
That's my general thought.
Right, that would be my thought.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
So you're driving in this Walking Dead man in your car.
You're driving, waiting for him to die.
Yeah. Not quite, but close.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if you looked over like blood's coming out of his ears, his eyeballs. I'm sorry, he drank gasoline. I just,
I thought the guy did it on a dare. I didn't realize that he just innocently started chugging. No!
Electrolytes! I will never forget the time that I swallowed blank. 844-999. Ola, more of your calls coming up here in seconds.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.